Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here, another edition of Off the Top Rope. So the big mystery going into Sunday was who's facing Randy Orton in place of Kevin Owens after Kevin Owens, unfortunately, 2 weeks out from the event, revealed he had a serious neck issue. He's got to go get surgery. He may miss next year's WrestleMania. He may never wrestle again. So first and foremost, and I've said this on a couple of different videos, Kevin Owens, please get well. Please get well. You're a gift to this business. If you never wrestle again, as far as I'm concerned, you're a Hall of Famer. But that left a void in WrestleMania because Randy Orton was going into his 20th WrestleMania and he didn't have an opponent. And we were wondering, is it going to be Nick Aldis? Is it going to be Rusev? Is it going to be Aleister Black? Is it going to be, some other random person? I heard Vikingo potentially as with the AAA thing that may happen. So everything happens. We go up and have a Zoom on the aisleway and say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion, made an appearance and wrestled Randy freaking Orton at WrestleMania. But you wouldn't know how incredible of a moment this was because it was one of the biggest pops of the entire weekend and one of the great moments in the history of WrestleMania. Because first of all, let's talk about this for a second. Joe Hendry has been on the Royal Rumble and on WrestleMania in the span of 2025. By the way, he's got a title defense in a week in Los Angeles. So for Joe Hendry to get this spot, and also Solo Sikoa was thrown out there, and then everybody is fucking complaining because, it's a TNA guy, and then Joe Hendry lost in, 5 minutes to Randy Orton, but it created a great meme. Joe Hendry did his turnaround thing and ran right into an RKO, and people were thinking, this makes TNA look bad. Guys, do you realize how much free publicity TNA just got with that, even with a loss? And even Randy Orton was giving him props, even before he RKO'd him again, and then when he left the ring. Like, Joe Hendry looked good. It was kind of an extended squash, I guess. What did you expect was going to happen? What did you expect was going to happen? You think I thought maybe Rusev would go out there and lose, but what does that do? Rusev is signed to the company. Aleister Black? No. Are you kidding me? No, they're not going to put Vikingo in there with AAA. No, Solo Sikoa seemed like a safe option, but it was underwhelming. So you guys got a pop with Joe Hendry, a guy that everybody universally loves, in a great fucking moment. And he creates an iconic gif of one of the great RKOs out of nowhere. It's a harmless, quick piece of business. And TNA gets to look good in that. Some people think TNA looks bad because their world champion got jobbed out. Guys, the fuck Randy Orton's not losing? What? You all on drugs? The fuck are we talking about here? Randy Orton needed an opponent that he could beat. They needed to create a moment. They were in an impossible position to, do whatever they were going to do. Because, they were initially, Randy was going to win. He was going to be Kevin Owens. So Randy was going to win. He's being groomed potentially to face Cena at some point, maybe at Backlash, because Backlash is in St. Louis. So maybe that's what happens. But guys, let's get real. Like, Rusev wasn't going to do it because he was going to lose, and that was going to make him look bad on his comeback. Aleister Black's already been teased for SmackDown. Even if he came back, that didn't make any sense. I've run the Solo was going to be the fine option, but you guys were all going to be pissed off about that. So we got Joe Hendry, and yet you're still mad. And some of these AEW sickos are like, man, they made TNA look really bad. Yeah, TNA got a whole bunch of publicity on the biggest wrestling show of the year. Their world champion was on it. That would have never happened 10 years ago. And Joe Hendry has done an incredible job with himself. First of all, let's be happy for Joe Hendry, the man. Considering this guy has been grinding and trying to get the gimmick over. He finally got this whole say his name and he appears and got his music over. And he's really molded himself into a decent enough wrestler. And he showed out. They didn't need to do anything crazy in this match. It wasn't going to be like a 5-star classic, a 20-minute match. Are you kidding me? This was supposed to be a blood feud. So they had to reset in 2 weeks to figure out what they wanted to do. And they landed on Joe Hendry, which to me, it's not even so much about the match, the moment, and, just being happy for somebody like Joe Hendry to get that stage, which is really incredible. It doesn't make TNA look bad. it gives their product free publicity when they have a huge pay-per-view out here in Los Angeles next week. And he's got a big title defense. And it sets the stage and it sort of reinforces that WWE and TNA are still working together. And Joe Hendry's been on 2 of the biggest shows of the year so far. That's insane to think about. Joe Hendry's made more appearances on premium live events than The Rock. Think about that. Joe Hendry, who is not even under contract with WWE, has made more premium live appearances and on 2 of the biggest ones the company has to offer than Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who is on the board of directors and could show up whenever the fuck he wants. Think about that. So before you all complain about just how ridiculous this was a harmless piece of business that I think benefits WWE. It benefits Randy Orton because they get him from point A to point B. Some people say it doesn't do anything. Guys, he was always winning. And this was an impossible, unprecedented scenario where his WrestleMania opponent really legitimately got hurt for 14 days. Like, WrestleMania got killed because of injuries. Like, Rey Mysterio got hurt the night before his match with El Grande Americano. But this Randy Orton, Kevin Owens thing had been built up for months, and Kevin Owens has to bow out, and he's probably out for an extended period of time. He may never wrestle again, like I said at the start of this video. But literally, 16 days out from WrestleMania 41 and he can't go. This is the best conceivable option that they could have come up with if they were going to come up with anything that was going to please the fans. Because like I said, the safest option for me that was on the roster was Solo Sikoa. And nobody wanted to see that. You guys all got mad at me when I said that. So I don't see the problem here. Any of you are mad, you just hate having fun. Because that's all this was. This was fun. This was a pro wrestling, sports entertainment spectacle of a match that they had. And it was great. Joe looked fine. Didn't go very long. It was harmless. Who cares? Y'all are just getting mad over shit. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.